Hey guys, thank you for joining us in our live this morning. I know there was some sound issues, however, we cleaned it up. So please enjoy this video with Tammy and Maggie from STEWART.
Now, here is a great question for all my sellers out there. What are some typical costs that you will have to spend as a seller?
Well, the title policy is negotiated, of course, on the contract. Typically, the seller pays for the title policy, but that is negotiable.
Yes.
There's also an escrow fee that is negotiable on buyer or seller is going to pay for that. It's usually split, the cost for that. There's also a document prep fee, which is the preparation of the deed for the seller to convey the property over to the borrower. If there's a current mortgage on the property that the seller has, we may have to have a lease prepared and recorded, which is just minimal. You know, it's another $100 to have a release prepared, and then to record the deed is the release is like $36. So it's really all very negotiable. It's not set in stone. It's just fees, you know.
Yeah. That's so great to kind of understand. I've had a closing with you where my seller was less than $2,000 upfront for these simple fees. So $1,200, like it was around $1,200. So yeah, definitely.
It is all very negotiable.
It is, yeah, definitely. So here is another great question that we get often about title company is as the get all the documentation sent to you, are you for the seller or are you for the buyer?
We are a disinterested party.
That's right. That's amazing. And that's one of the things that I always get questions.
But we love you both. I mean, we have to say we're disinterested, but we're working for both of you. At the end of the day, we just want to provide a service that you are happy and satisfied with.
Absolutely.
And that's all of our goals.
Yes, because I know I get that question all the time. Well, doesn't the title company work for the seller? No, my friend. They are a disinterested third party, and they just try to make sure that all the facts are on the table and done correctly, right?
Correct.
Is there any way that someone can negotiate the prices that as the title company?
With the title company, no, there's not a negotiation for our fees. There would just be negotiation between the buyer and the seller to help with each other with their fees. You know, the seller wants to make a certain profit, then you know the buyer and the seller kind of negotiate that. We don't have enough fees. Most of our fees are set by the state, so we don't have enough fees to reduce.
And I asked that question because I've had several clients say, well, can't they just do it for maybe $100 less? And then, and I'm so glad that you're saying, no, it's set by the state. We do a set price, and it is our job as the agents to negotiate that price for our clients, not the title company. Okay, so here's a great question. In a transaction, what you mentioned what they all include. Could you mention those things again? What the total cost would include for the title company?
For the title company, the only fees that are actually title company fees are our escrow fee. And that's the only thing that we collect that's on our side. Everything else for the state. The escrow fee is for us. The recording fee, that's to be recorded with the county records. The policy guarantee fee, that's to be collected for the state. So really the only money that's coming in to actually each of our offices is the escrow title fee.
Wow, that's amazing. Here's a question. Okay, I know we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but what are a couple of documents that you feel are very important for maybe a seller who's thinking of selling their home? What are these documents that you want them to bring in right away? Like if it was just like all up front, what are those documents?
Survey. If they have an existing survey and they're going to offer it to the buyer, we need that survey with the T47. Have them sign the T47 that they haven't made any changes to the boundaries or added anything to the property that cannot be removed or over boundary lines or anything. That's number one. If they can give us they have a current mortgage, if they can provide that information to us so that we can get that ordered right away.
How many days does that take?
It just depends on who their current mortgage is with. If they have a hard money lender, it takes a little while to get those payoffs. Most of them 3 to 8 business days, we have to order it, so.
So like, for example, for a person who's thinking of selling their home with a cash offer, that's something that needs to be brought in right away because you're thinking, oh, I'm going to be closing by the end of the week, but no, you need time to order all of the correct documents.
Correct. It's not just waiting on the title commitment, because the title commitment can sometimes be faster than waiting on payoff or waiting on HOA to be ordered. We sometimes title is ready before we have payoff and before we have HOA documents that we have to order. HOA is, everything is on their time and not ours,
Yeah.
And they're happy to move it along faster for, extra fees, but we don't want to, it's enough fees that are being paid anyway, so why?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now for us Galvestonians here in Galveston, what is one thing that you see pop up a lot in regards to a transaction that a seller should be aware of?
I think a lot of things. Well, Galveston is just so historical, and it's been around forever. A lot of it is a lot of deceased people in title, and documents were not prepared correctly to convey interest from one family member to another, or affidavits of heirships where documents were drawn, by themselves and were not correct, or things like that. It's the documentation to convey interest from usually between family members.
So what you're saying is that if you have a house here in Galveston, please make sure that you're putting it in a correct trust, that you have someone viewing the paperwork when you're wanting to will it to someone else.
These documents are all online.
Yeah.
However, they're not always correct when conveying real property. Real property is not like conveying a car.
Yeah.
Not personal property. It's different, and it's a little more important.
Yeah, I know that we've had conversations around clients that their spouses pass away, and unfortunately when the wife goes to sell the home or the husband goes to sell the home, they don't realize the other half of that property actually goes to the children and the spouse.
Yeah, it depends on if there was a will and it was probated and all of that. All of that goes into accounts, and if there were children from a previous marriage, so there's a lot.
Yeah, so guys, take care of your titles.
Yes.
Guys, we're so excited that we were able to do this. We are going to probably do a more long-form version of this on my YouTube channel eventually. But today, this was our Instagram Live, and we just want to say thank you for joining us.
I'm going to say one thing real quick. If you want to get a hold of us, please be sure to follow our Facebook. We have a Stewart Title Galveston, also a Stewart Title Galveston County Facebook. We also have an Instagram, Stewart Title Galveston, a Twitter, Stewart Title Galveston, and a Snapchat, Stewart Title and Stewart Title Galveston. You can also email me, Maggie, MAGGIE, green like the color, at Stewart Title. And please be sure to come down and see these lovely ladies, Tammy, Baggy, Dana Stewart, at our original building. This is where Stewart Title started at 22222 22nd Street in downtown Galveston, and also our Pirates Beach in West End. Thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. This is my preferred title company. I love working with Tammy. She's so knowledgeable. Oh my God, the brains. I love like picking your brain all the time. And guys, I know that we're about to go into the season of selling your house. Please, before you start thinking of selling your home, start gathering your documents. Give me a call. I'd love to connect you with Tammy, and we can talk to Tammy and make sure that you have all of the documents in line prior to selling your home, because you don't want to end up with a hiccup in the middle of a transaction. So with all of that said, thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you guys enjoy all of the Mardi Gras this weekend. You guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.